at some point you are where your record says you are. You're 12-1.
Jalen Hurts is locked up, in my opinion, the MVP. Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off. This is the Week 14 ReCAPS episode, otherwise known as a sad day for myself.
We'll get there.
I'm having a great dandy old time.
Yeah, I'm having a great day too, but I can understand as a Dolphins fan why you would be.
I'm having
Are you having that great of a time? You're kind of.
Yeah, bro. We 10-3.
wins
Dak
a win.
Prescott led a 98 game-winning drive.
98
98
game-winning drives.
98-yard game-winning
He
drive.
has 98 game-winning
Hey,
drives.
it's the Texas Derby.
Texas.
You know who
It's
else
the
has,
Texas
you know who
Derby.
else has 98 game-winning drives? It's Baker.
Yeah.
Baker also has 98.
He did have a 98-yard game-winning drive. That was wild, bro. Baker's back?
Baker's back. Jack, what time did you wake up this morning to make the shoot this morning?
4:45.
Jack came back from Cincy this morning. He was on Ride with Yaz. Go check that out on the Game Day YouTube this week.
Yes, he was.
How was? Was it a good time?
It was cool. We got field passes for it on the Brown sideline, though, which is kind of funny. But no, it was like, dude, Deshaun was like this close to me, and I was like,
really?
Oh man, I've never been this close to a predator before. It's just a little scary. But,
First time for everything. First time for everything.
Jesus.
No, it was dope though. Like Amari Cooper was like trained, like literally warming up like right in front of me. I was like,
Yeah,
so
you sent that
sick.
Snapchat. I was like, that's pretty
like,
sick.
so
That's pretty
sick.
cool.
that was dope. And there was just like that. We sat like 5th, 6th row, and then went up to like suite for a little bit. It was like, this ain't too bad. I got a couple free high noons up there. You know,
Nice.
keep it classy.
It's usually me for being a seltzer guy.
I like high noons though, because so the other one, like regular seltzers, they're malt liquor, which is like Four Loko, your old English like that. That sucks. But high noons got vodka.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's better.
That's
for
true.
You.
You
What
buy
about
high,
White
you
Claw?
buy
White
you
Claw's
buy
malt
High Noon in a
malt
liquor
liquor.
store.
Yeah, but White
You-
Claws, Trulies, those are all malt liquor.
You can only buy High Noon in a liquor store, whereas the others you
Those you
have
can
to
find
go to
everywhere.
like a
Because malt liquor is it's not good.
Wow.
It makes you feel like
Well, no, White Claws make me feel good.
really. Well,
You know
they make
what-
you feel
You know what's
good until
better?
they don't.
Vizzies are better than both.
Bro, how many different seltzers are there?
Vizzies
You know
are
what's
good.
good?
And what's the
Neutral?
T1?
So
What's
many.
the T1 that's fire?
Truly,
Truly.
No.
Yeah, Truly
there's
teas.
there's
No,
neutral.
Like the spiked teas, right?
Twisted
Twisted tea.
No, hell no.
I was like, bro, that's a hangover and a half.
Yeah. Oh my god, so much sugar.
I
I'm gonna get it.
do you get the neutrals? Is that it?
There's
Nah,
also
nah,
like
nah.
the Bud Light seltzers. That
Oh, those are so bad, bro. Do you remember?
Yeah, those
remember
are.
Coors had a seltzer for a sec?
Did they?
Yeah, it
Corona
was so
seltzers are
bad.
fire.
Corona seltzers are good. Corona
Those are good.
Corona seltzers are
I don't really like to drink.
You're feeling good though after this weekend, huh? The Niners had a big dub against the Bucks, destroyed them.
I got into my hotel room. The Niners were up 7-0. I was like, I bet not too bad. Like good start. There we go, Brock. And then he just turned it on. And dude, like Tish was with me. Like he's one of our producers. He was with me, and I was just like, it was the funniest thing in the world. He was just like praising big Brock. I was like, dude, that's my quarterback. Like he looked great. Dude.
I do want to talk about the Niners for a second. Do the Niners have the best system in football?
Yes.
I've said it. I think
No, I
that's
think the Eagles do.
Right, now for 1 year.
really.
Oh, well, I mean, we're
The Niners
talking
been doing
about
this
now,
for
right?
5,
It's
6
yeah, it's
years.
not exactly.
We're heading
Then-
into Week 15.
Yeah, but the Niners have been doing this.
And how many Super Bowls have they won? None.
How many of the
How many
Eagles
The
won?
Eagles won. Not because
One.
of the yeah,
But
but not
with a
because of the
different
system.
coach.
Zero
Different
plus
system.
one.
Bro, what?
That's true. No,
Who was the
shit.
coach then?
I don't care. Look what
where
they're
did-
doing this year. The
Their
Eagles
coach
are 10-1.
literally coaches in
The Eagles are
Jacksonville.
12-1.
All right, let's talk
They've
about.
lost one game.
That's a
Bro,
very fair
like-
point, but I do want to talk about this year though, because the system I'm talking about is more like how the Niners are able to just plug and play a guy like Brock Purdy, and kind of proved yesterday that they can just put in any quarterback and still be successful.
Well,
We've been saying all year, Jimmy Garoppolo is kind of the bar of like mediocre quarterback. Is he good enough to get it a little bit done to win some games?
Let's not get it twisted. Like Brock Purdy made some throws. Like he didn't just
That's
like
what I'm saying.
dink and dunk it down the field. He looked good.
He looked
really
yesterday.
good.
He didn't care. People were coming at his face trying to tackle him. He's getting hit hard, making good throws down the field the whole time. Like he looked.
The touchdown
really
to
good.
Ayuk, he got smacked. Like,
Yeah,
the dude was coming right
he
down
knew,
the middle.
He knew he was going to hit him in the teeth because it was a double move, and he just got railed. But right, I mean, it was a little short.
A little underthrown, but he got it there.
But the
right
fact
in
that he
time.
got it there, it's
Yeah.
like,
I think the answer to the question is yes, though. The Niners have the best system in football. You've
Why?
lost because you've had so many injuries this year, and the most important one is the QB. You lose Trey Lance.
down to the third stringer at the beginning of the year.
You lost Trey Lance in what, week 2?
Week
3?
one.
Week 1? And even all of us, we were like, okay, that's
That's
not
fine 'cause
great.
you got Jimmy.
No, all of us were like, all right, you have Jimmy G, but you're still nervous because you
Well,
have.
as a 49er fan, I wasn't nervous. I knew what Jimmy gave us, but I was like, damn, I wish I could see his full
But you
season
invest
trade.
all this capital to get Trey Lance, and that happens. Then Jimmy comes in, and now Jimmy gets hurt. I actually think Brock Purdy provides more to that offense than Jimmy G does, only because of the athleticism. It's in a way what they wanted in Trey Lance is to be able to move outside the pocket a little bit and provide a different little type of thing for the defense to game plan. And I think the Niners, no matter who the hell goes down, Debo goes down, I don't care who it is.
He looks awesome.
How many times do we have to say the Niners are still Super Bowl contenders, no matter who's there? And it frustrates me.
That's what's so crazy about them.
It doesn't make sense.
That's what's so crazy about them, though, is because this is like one of the first times historically in the NFL, the most important player on the field is your quarterback, and this team clearly is proving that like
the least.
That it's right, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the quarterback. You don't need that superstar guy. You just need a guy who knows the motions, knows how to lead the team a little bit, get the ball to him, and not have to be the best player on the field.
I'd be more sad if Nick Bosa or Fred Warner went down than Jimmy G did.
What about
when he
Debo?
Went down. Debo,
That's
like
worrisome.
Debo, yes, kind of, because he's like a super versatile weapon. Versatile. I've never said it that way before. Versatile.
Is it versatile?
I say
or
versatile.
Versatile.
Usually.
Both work.
But
Both work,
no, I like, but it is like, but we have to think about it too. Like I brought up last week, the 49ers this year haven't been winning because of their offense. They're winning because that defense is just ridiculous. But now Brock Purdy, actually, if he can keep this up, which I doubt he will, but if he can keep up this kind of play and not make stupid decisions, I don't see any team beating the Niners in the NFC.
Do you think that they destroyed the Bucks because the Niners were actually that good, or are the Bucks just that bad?
The Bucks suck, bro, and we've seen it. The Bucks suck. I'm not taking anything away from Brock because Brock played very well, and I think that's where we say like we
The
talk
Bucks
about
are
this.
losing 35-0. They're that bad. You're not going to give any credit to the Niners?
I just said Brock. What's his name? Purdy.
Yes.
Balled out. He played great.
He's better than
the
Dak.
team is. The team is really good. Christian McCaffrey looked like prime Christian McCaffrey, but again, the Niners haven't won in like 40 years, bro. I got to see more from the San Francisco 49ers. We've seen good teams make.
Haven't won in 40 years. What?
40 years.
What are you
We've seen
talking
good.
about?
When was the last time the Niners won?
When was the last time the Cowboys made a Super Bowl?
Who's talking about the Cowboys? When was the last time the Niners won?
When was the last time? I
The
actually
Cowboys
like
won.
the 90s.
The Cowboys won more recent than the Niners. But here's
When was
the
the last
thing.
time they made the Super Bowl though? Niners made 2 Super Bowls in the
But
last
here's
10
the thing.
years.
The Niners. Look, we've seen good teams have. Eat the popcorn. We've seen.
Like, you
I'm
can't
not
talk,
here
you
to.
talk
I'm not
about
here to
that
the
if you're a
Niners.
Cowboy fan,
I'm
bro.
not. Well, I'm saying the Cowboys have won more recently than the Niners. But here's what I'm saying. We've seen good performances from good teams. The Niners played great. I'm not here to take away from the Niners. I think they're a top 5 team. But to say that based off of this performance over the Bucks that they're the best team in the league or that they're a Super Bowl contender like by far, you can't say that because we've seen them perform well. We've also seen them perform very bad this year. So it's like let's not overreact to 1 week.
No, let's overreact
But
to 1 week.
Brock Purdy looks really good, and I think the one thing
yeah.
that Brock Purdy provides the Niners, hopefully, I don't know. Obviously, like Adam said, he's more mobile than Jimmy G, and he provides a little bit more upside in that sense. But like you always mention, Jimmy G will play good for 2 or 3 games and then have a bad game. Maybe Brock Purdy can be more consistent, and that provides a higher upside for the Niners. So I don't know, but
I'd like
Yeah.
to suggest a hypothetical again. You know, I love these. I'll direct it at you, Jake.
The Cowboys and the Niners play each other.
Okay. Hypothetically speaking, if the Niners were to make the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, you could say for one side of it, obviously they win. Another, they're very competitive and they put up a hell of a performance. What do you want to do moving forward as a Niners fan?
If I know.
No. I want to that's why I'm
He's
playing
so honest.
hypotheticals.
No,
He's
dude,
honest.
that's so hard because like
But you get to the Super Bowl if Brock plays well, is what I'm trying to say.
if we make the Super Bowl and Brock is having like a Kaepernick type thing where he's like, wow, he's the dude. Like,
Correct.
Then he's your guy. He's your guy. If he can prove he can win the playoffs
you do a trade.
in like his first like 10 games ever starting in the NFL, he's your dude.
I think he needs to. Maybe he's your dude going into the next season,
Your
but I don't
dude.
think you can commit to him being your dude until he has a full season.
well, what do you
of
do with Trey though?
Success.
Keep
That's
him
a
on the
legitimate
roster.
question.
Jimmy G out of here if that happens.
But a similar thing
Yeah,
happened
I
with
agree.
Dak, did it not? There were 2
No.
injuries in front of Dak? No?
Huh?
Didn't
Didn't
Oh,
Dak
Didn't
Tony
Dak come in when
Romo?
Tony Romo played?
Yeah, but that's completely different. Dak was a rookie. Well, I know.
Yeah,
Purdy's a rookie.
Romo was a veteran,
But we
like-
hadn't drafted. We didn't trade away 3 or 4 first-round picks
Yeah.
for a rookie the year before
But
that
that's
is slated to
But I
play.
think
But that's like an ego talking, because if you make the Super Bowl with a guy, regardless of you drafting someone else, you throw
No,
that
I
out the
agree.
window.
You have to at some point swallow that you f***ed up. But what I'm saying is I'm not ready to swallow that yet. We haven't seen Trey Lance at all.
fair.
That's why
It's
it was
almost
just-
weird. It's like at some point it's like, yeah, Trey Lance, like he's been hurt and stuff, and he was a backup his first year. If we see Brock Purdy and he balls out, I don't see how you can be like, okay, that's our backup quarterback. Like if the Niners win the Super Bowl and Brock Purdy is the Super Bowl MVP, he is their starting quarterback next year. I don't give a shit how many first rounders you traded for Trey Lance.
Agree.
I don't care how Jimmy played this year as like a top 10 quarterback, like whatever. Jimmy G gone, Trey Lance, you're the backup. We're gonna see in training camp what happens.
And maybe you can
Like,
concede. Maybe you can say, like, all right, look, we're going to stick with Brock, and now we can't do anything about the what was it? How many? Three first-round picks we gave up. We can't do anything about that now. But maybe we can just concede and get, like, trade Trey for
But
a second.
I think at the end of the day,
get something back for Trey.
At the end
at least.
of the day, like all you want to do, right? The biggest thing in the NFL is
Won
finding
Super Bowl.
your franchise quarterback,
Oh, yeah, and you find that with Brock. Then
right?
you're good.
And if you found that, doesn't matter.
Here's a similar
Like,
situation. The Redskins at the time drafted RG3, first overall?
Yeah,
Heisman winner, like,
or
big shit.
second, I think second.
Second
Yeah.
overall, Andrew Luck was first, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Drafted RG3. That same draft,
Kirk
fourth or
Cousins.
fifth round, Kirk Cousins was drafted.
Yep.
Who ended up being the guy, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And then obviously he went to Minnesota, and RG3 was out the league in a few years. But it's a similar situation.
All
and
right,
they traded hella picks for RG3.
We talk about this every single week. I feel like not much has changed, but you got to win yesterday. You got to win yesterday, and the Eagles also got to win yesterday. So who's the team to beat in the NFC?
It's still the Eagles.
It's the Eagles because they
They're
have the
12 and
most
1.
wins, 12-1.
They're gonna have the playoffs in the NFC are gonna run through the link. Like that's scary in its own right.
Are the
Well,
Eagles?
we don't know that yet. I think, I'll be honest, I think Philly, there's 4 games left. I think they lose 2 games. I think they lose to Dallas, and I think they lose to Chicago.
Chicago.
I think the Bears can get them. And
With
then
that running offense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that happens and Dallas wins out, Dallas gets the first seed, and it runs through Dallas. But I think the Eagles just flat out, based off of their record, are the team to beat right now. And I think their win was more impressive than the Niners because they beat a divisional opponent by like 30, by like 25.
The Bucks are better than
The Bucks suck.
Giants.
They might be better than the Giants. I'm not sure who's better. They're both not very good. But divisional wins are very tough. We saw Washington beat the Eagles. So the fact that the Eagles beat the Giants by that much, it shows that they're just leaps and bounds ahead of.
Are the Eagles actually the best team in the NFL?
Yes.
Yeah, right now you have to say they are.
I don't see how you can't say that just because at some point, like you said, like you are your record says you are. You're 12-1. That's insane regardless
Not
how
only
you
that,
look
you
at
are
it.
putting a full-on ass whooping on so many different teams.
Dude, the last
in
few weeks they are
various
beating the
ways.
shit out of everyone.
Jalen Hurts is locked up, in my opinion, the MVP. At least right now,
Really?
it's his.
He hasn't locked it up because they could lose a couple
I'm
games.
saying right now, for me, Jalen Hurts is the MVP.
I would, if I had a vote, I would vote for Jalen Hurts.
I would too
but
right now, yeah.
I also think Patrick Mahomes, he's still going crazy.
Yeah, but with
He's
3
nuclear.
interceptions against
Yeah.
the Broncos, what does he have? 11 INTs on the year. Jalen Hurts has 3 INTs.
But Mahomes has to do way more in terms of what he's being asked to do. I'm not saying.
Jalen Hurts is running a rushing offense. Like,
And I'm
Patrick
not
Mahomes
saying
is
Jalen
very-
Hurts is producing less than Mahomes because he's not. I mean, obviously he has less yards, but he has way less interceptions too. But I think where I said earlier the Eagles system is so good is that you put this guy that fits the mold. Obviously, he needs to be good to be able to fit that system. But he fits the mold so well that a strong rushing offense, being able to pass off of the run, and he can rush on his own. So I mean, but he's been performing. So I got him as the number 1 right now.
I just do, yeah.
I'd be interested to see what the betting odds are on that this week because Mahomes been the
On
favorite
which
for a
one is
few
going to
weeks.
be MVP?
Yeah.
I think Felipe had it up before, actually.
He did not.
Was it Hurts?
It
'Cause I
was
feel
in
like a lot of books.
We
Still
were
think
looking at a
Mahomes.
comp graphic between Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts and their
Oh.
stats on the season, and at
Yeah.
the bottom there were betting odds, and Hurts was like minus 105.
Oh, they were betting on
Oh,
it?
Yeah,
wow.
at the bottom, Hurts was like minus 105, and Mahomes was
last-
like plus 110.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
last week
it was
Mahomes
still
was
the
very
favorite.
close.
Hurts is the favorite, minus 115.
Yeah.
But here's a serious
Mahomes
question.
is second, plus 150.
And,
Them
and
Burrow.
they have very similar numbers across the board, except for like Mahomes has like 800 more yards or something, and also whatever, 8 more interceptions.
I'm curious though, because Jalen Hurts has one of the best systems right now. But if you put Jalen Hurts on like the Lions, who are surging right now, is he still
No,
in that MVP conversation, or
No.
you're saying the
Possibly.
system?
Possibly.
The
No, I
thing
don't
about
think
football
so.
is it's so much about the system, and they have built a
huge.
system in Philadelphia that just allows him to thrive, and he obviously is a big catalyst of that.
It's
like
so
he's
perfect.
so much part of the reason of why they're being so successful is he's just hooping.
Look, bro, he has that's a great
dreams.
call. He has 3 interceptions. He plays on the Lions, he's gonna have 15. And I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback because of that. I'm saying he's a great quarterback who is fitting that system so beautifully well. But 3 interceptions shows what the system allows him to do. He's throwing 3 interceptions because he's not having to force the ball, and he's throwing to open receivers. A.J. Brown, the touchdowns he's been scoring this year have been insane. There's so many yards after the catch, all that. Devontae Smith is so good. Dallas Goedert comes back this upcoming week. Miles Sanders looks really good. They have a beautiful system.
A.J. Brown, obviously going to the Eagles, I think changed everything. We've always said, obviously, Stephon Diggs went
You get that
to
alpha
Buffalo.
dog.
You get that alpha dog. So just in terms of comparing two of the biggest moves of the offseason, A.J. Brown goes to the Eagles, Tyreek goes to the Dolphins. Who's made a bigger impact on the team and the quarterback, in your opinion?
A.J. Brown. Because I think people knew that the Eagles are going to go into the year being decent, but now they're by far the best team in football. I just think A.J. I don't know, Tyreek's
That's tough.
Tyreek's a better receiver, but I think A.J. Brown has made more of an impact.
It's tough.
Let
me tell you why it's tough, because Tyreek made Tua an MVP candidate. Who would have thought this, man? Other than Adam, who would have thought that Tua would be an
Adam
MVP?
didn't actually believe that. He was just saying it because he was a Dolphins fan.
Right.
I agree with you, though. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Tyreek made Tua an MVP candidate.
Jalen Hurts.
You could argue that A.J. Brown made Jalen Hurts an MVP candidate. I think that Jalen Hurts has even more around him, though. So I think maybe I'll give it to Tyreek.
Jalen Hurts, I also think it would be Tyreek because I think Jalen Hurts, even without A.J. Brown, and I don't really think he has, Devontae Smith's good, but I don't actually think he has that many weapons around him. I think Jalen Hurts could have been an MVP candidate going into the season. He has that kind of talent and potential, whereas Tua, I don't think did, or not. People didn't have that expectation for him. And then he got Tyreek, and Waddle's obviously been balling, and these guys have elevated him, certainly.
Yeah, Hurts has the best offensive line in the league.
You got to credit McDaniel.
Hurts has the best offensive line in the league. He has a defense that balls the out. And then Devontae Smith is a Heisman winner. We can't forget 2 years ago, Dynasty team got him on.
That's a big guy for us.
Big guy. So they're really good. I just think Jalen Hurts has a little bit more help, or maybe a lot more help. Honestly, a lot more help.
I think Jalen Hurts has more help than Tua for sure.
But
I'm not saying Tua doesn't have help.
I do want to
Okay,
talk.
so who are you? So what's your answer then?
I think it's Tyreek.
Tyreek. Okay.
No bias, though.
It's honestly close.
Tyreek
It's
has
close. It's a good question.
What about I guess we can't really say Devontae to the Raiders because that was another big move, but
I mean, they lose.
yeah. Josh
And Derek
McDaniel
Carr looks
just-
worse than he ever has.
Yeah, so that one's
So,
good.
yeah.
Derek Carr.
So maybe he made the biggest impact because
Negative
Carr sucks.
impact.
Maybe. Interesting.
negative DVOA.
I do
Flip
want to
the
talk about the
switch.
Dolphins-Chargers game, though, because I want to ask you this question. I'm sorry, Adam. I know. It was a tough loss. Tua did not play great. Here's my question, though. Do you think that this Dolphins-Chargers game debunked the theory that Justin Herbert is a social media quarterback?
I don't think
No.
so. I think it actually kind of proves it a little bit too, because the social media, when people go nuts about someone on social media, it's when they play in primetime. And Justin Herbert, every primetime game is a dog. He goes crazy in primetime. Maybe he doesn't win because a lot of the times it's against the Chiefs and Mahomes does some crazy shit. But there's a reason for that.
I agree.
I don't know.
May I make a public apology?
For?
Justin?
Why?
Why?
To Justin.
To Justin. Strictly looking into Justin.
From Adam to Justin.
From Adam to Justin. Is that
Put that on a card, yes.
Is
I
that
wasn't familiar with
Happy
the game.
holidays.
I wasn't. Justin Patrick Herbert. Weird.
Is that
You
his
know
actual
his-
name?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
look up his middle name for this?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah, I did.
It's a weird thing to do.
Last week, we said, specifically myself, played into the narrative that you are a social media quarterback. And while I still think you are, I think not only are you a social media quarterback, you deserve praise on social media as a quarterback. And I think you balled out. And it hurts to say it, but you had some individual talent there that looked a lot better than Tua. And I'm biased, and
Hey,
he could have gone to
35%
the
completion, though.
Dolphins. Yeah.
Look at that.
worst
of his
35.
career.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Justin.
You don't have to apologize.
You don't have to.
First of all,
One point, Herbert-
last week we never slandered Herbert ever.
No.
The social media quarterback thing was more about how people react to Herbert, not about how Herbert performs.
They give Herbert a pass a little bit when
They
he
give
plays
him a pass.
bad
It's about
and-
people
yeah.
giving him a pass, not necessarily him being asked. We said
He deserves the praise. He's sick.
yeah, he's an insane quarterback.
Sweet.
So,
So
if
you, Justin.
Okay, that's
All right.
rude.
You're just
That was mean.
You're
I'm
just
hurt.
You're on a roller coaster with Tua because you were saying Tua MVP and now you're saying you don't know about Tua for the future.
He's
Like,
gotten
you're-
absolutely exposed the last 2 weeks.
Yes, he has.
and he's about to play the Bills next week, so it might be 3 weeks in a row.
They made Mike
Finish
White.
your thought, Felipe.
Well, my only point is that we don't have to apologize. Whether Justin Herbert's a social media quarterback or not, it doesn't mean that we have never slandered him. Like, we always said he was a great quarterback, and that it's the social media reaction that makes him a social media quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, last night the lights were bright. He balled the out, and Tua did it. And again, he can continue to be a social media quarterback and still perform well, and then nothing changes.
You know, I was thinking about this, like, that Justin Herbert is like the anti-Kirk Cousins, where when the lights are shining the brightest, Justin Herbert steps up to play and has an insane game. And when it's that game that gets lost in red zone during, like, the first slate, he plays like crap and no one really cares about it.
Well,
it's the opposite of Kirk.
Yeah, well, at this point, Kirk Cousins in primetime and Tua in primetime are one and the same cut from the same.
Well,
cloth,
we've only
so-
seen
I
Tua in
wasn't talking about
primetime.
Tua there,
this
you just-
one
Yeah, but I
time.
am.
No, but I agree. It's a natural transition because I think it's the same. Exactly. Tua balling out all year. Doesn't play a single game in prime time. Then he plays in prime time this week. He's also playing in prime time next week against the Bills on
and
Saturday.
the Niners one was like one of the
and
late
he plays
slates.
terribly.
Like,
The worst completion percentage of his career, and I think I saw in college as well.
Probably high school too.
So exactly, maybe Tua is the next Kirk Cousins. Who knows? But I do think that Sunday Night Football game with the Dolphins and the Chargers just further proves the Justin Herbert theory that he is a social media quarterback because for exactly that reason of he's been playing okay. We give him all this shit and say, oh, he's only good because he makes flashy plays, but then he comes out and balls.
Well,
but he only balls when all of social media is watching him.
To be clear, though, I don't think it's fair to just completely dog on Tua today because Tua didn't play a great game, but he's been having a great season. So to say, all right, one primetime game he hasn't performed well, that he's dog, you can't do that because every quarterback's going to have bad games. We've seen Brady have horrible games on primetime. We've seen Mahomes have bad games on primetime. So, I mean, look, the Dolphins don't get put on primetime often, but I think, that, according to Adam, they're going to be on primetime this upcoming week on Saturday night against the Bills.
And according to the NFL, but yeah.
And according to the NFL, Adam actually suggested it to the NFL that they play on Saturday night, and they ended up taking that suggestion. So, look, go prove yourself. I'm worried if it's consistently bad on primetime games, but I'm not worried yet with Tua.
Adam, I'd like to put you on the spot real quick because saw a tweet last night of our buddy Joel Moran. You know, we used to work with him a little bit.
Shout out Pick a Side.
Shout out Pick a Side. He has a tweet that I'd love to see where you land on. It's QBs I'd take before Tua Tagovailoa.
Good pronunciation.
So, thank you. You've trained me well. I think I just want to go through this list and not hear anyone's take besides yours. Would you take this quarterback over Tua? All right. Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Can you say it louder?
Louder for
Adam?
me, please.
Yeah.
Joe
With your
Burrow.
gut.
My gut doesn't feel good today.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Herbert.
Yeah.
Brady.
Which Brady am I getting?
You're getting Tom Brady like just
Like
right
today?
now.
Today?
Yeah,
Like
right.
divorce theory Brady?
Today, yeah.
No.
Okay, interesting. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Deshaun. What was that sound?
That was a sound of like this is not going to go well. But yeah.
Okay. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Don't hesitate.
No, I'm gonna let me hesitate.
Is it a
can't
yes?
hesitate
Is it a yes
It's
or
a
no?
yes.
Kyler.
No.
That's smart. Dak.
No.
Whoa.
Really?
Really?
I just again.
I mean, Dak hasn't looked great the last couple of weeks.
There
but
are
like,
moments of Dak that I see, and I'm like, "Wow, Dak, you look great." And then there are also moments where you shit the bed, and that seems like Tua right now. So what?
So you might as well take your guy. All right.
All right.
That's a bad take.
Matt Stafford.
No.
Jimmy G.
No.
Justin Fields.
You're thinking about Fields, but you didn't think about Dak.
Yeah,
You
that's
said no to
wild.
Dak.
That's
That's
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, because he's younger, and I know that there's far more of a.
Adam,
of a
it's a yes or no
room.
question.
29. How old is Dak? How old
Dak's
is
like
Dak?
28, 29.
Yes or
he's
no
young.
question.
He's his prime.
Justin Fields.
No.
Okay. Jared Goff.
No.
Ryan Tannehill.
No.
Kirk.
No.
Gino.
No.
Bailey Zappi.
Okay, maybe.
Good one.
Mac Jones.
Absolutely not.
Derek Carr.
Absolutely not.
All right, I'm going to throw another curveball in there, Brock Purdy.
Okay, maybe.
No, that was just interesting. I wanted to see where you fell on that. 'Cause that was an interesting tweet. I was like, you could make an argument for all these guys. Joel, I love you,
can't.
man. But like, kind of mad that you didn't put Jimmy on this list. Jimmy is better than Mac Jones.
Like, okay,
like
it is.
He's better than Matt Stafford. All right. Anyway.
It's been easy for people. You wait,
I don't know
like,
about that one.
if you're a Tua hater, you've waited for these games, right? You've waited for him to have these primetime moments where he the bed, and that's totally fine because in December and January he's been bad. Like even Tennessee last year when we needed a win, he was bad.
Which is what matters.
Exactly. So I get it. Like no, again, I said it last week. Same thing this week.
Yeah.
There's not a single Dolphins fan that's going to sit here and defend Tua. Tua played like two games in a row.
It's weird though because in college he was a gamer. Like he came
I
in
know.
that national championship or semifinal, whatever the game was, and
National
balled.
championship.
I think it's
like-
I think it's very easy to dog on Tua because of these games, and rightfully so. I understand it, but to put him up against like guys like Jared Goff and guys like Ryan Tannehill is just
Jared
you're
Goff's
just
been
reaching.
sneaky good.
No, Jared
Goff's
Goff's been
been
great,
playing
but
well.
also fantastic offensive line, talent around you. There's a lot of things happening also
Well-
for Jared Goff. Like the variables that Tua has also are there for Jared Goff. So Jared Goff's going to play well. We've seen Jared Goff be able to play well with variables. Like when he was in LA, he
made
had
it
a
to
lot of
Super
good
Bowls.
things.
Yeah.
So
He's an MVP.
but to say, but
candidate, yeah.
again, even though I did say to you earlier, like I am genuinely concerned strictly because at the end of the day, to win these tough games in the cold weather, to win tough games in the playoffs, you're at some point going to have to go outside of this timing and be that game breaker. And yes, I'll give you credit. You've said it all along. But as a Dolphins fan, I'm slightly just worried because now we're going on 2 years in a row. This stretch is going to be tough. And you're going to play Buffalo. In Buffalo, the weather's going to be Then you play Green Bay. And yes, Green Bay's not been the same Green Bay, but they're still Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And then you got to go up to New England and you got to play New York at home. And New York's defense has been great. So
Y'all beat New England. You guys always beat them.
I'm not worried about I don't know.
He's worried.
I'm worried.
I just can't believe you would take Tua over Dak. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean.
Since Dak has come back, the Cowboys are scoring 40 points per game. Bro.
Yeah.
Dak's
okay.
looked incredible though.
Well, you almost lost to the
He's looked amazing.
You almost lost
the last two
yesterday,
games.
yesterday wasn't great. 2 games ago, he scored 50.
All right, but that's, again,
They went into that game thinking they could just wallop them and
Yeah,
really
it happens.
underprepared.
I
happens to
expect you to
everybody.
take
Yeah.
Dak, and I would hope you expect me to take Tua.
I don't, though.
Okay.
Because I would still take Patrick Mahomes over Dak, obviously.
How many quarterbacks
what?
did you take over Dak? Actually, I'm curious with that one.
Over
love that
Dak
boy.
right now?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes,
Mahomes,
Josh
Allen,
Allen,
Burrow,
Allen, Burrow.
Herbert.
Lamar.
No. Hell no. I'll take Dak
Justin
over Lamar
Fields?
10 times out of 10. Justin Fields, not
Dynasty,
close. I would take those right now.
So there's only 4
right
quarterbacks.
now-
Deshaun Watson?
No. Right now, I would take 3 quarterbacks over
You
Dak.
wouldn't take Herbert over him?
No. Right now, I would take 3 quarterbacks over Dak. And it would be Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm just happy that
I wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers over Dak right now.
delusion is not something that only is found within Dolphins fans. It's found amongst every NFL fan.
All of us are delusional. Come
We're
on
all
now.
delusional, but I mean, look, bro, like, what am I gonna say when a quarterback comes in, averages 37 points per game, and then makes an offense go from the 27th best in the league to the first?
Look,
what am I gonna say? Like,
I
that's
want to just say thank you
All
because
right.
you made me feel better about Tua. You told me I shouldn't be
did.
worried.
I'm
you told
realistic.
me that, Justin's still a social media quarterback. You've made me feel better over the last couple
y'all
of
so
weeks.
glad.
y'all love to come in here. The other team performs bad, and like, yo, your team. But
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
giving the
we
Niners
need-
their flowers. They look good.
'Cause we need
It's not the
engagement.
end of the world for y'all either, bro.
Oh, no, it feels like the end of the
But
world.
the Cowboys losing, I gotta go digging myself in a hole, bro.
No, you
It's so
didn't lose.
sad.
You just barely beat the Texans.
No, I'm saying
No, they
when
won.
when the Cowboys lose. I'm
Oh,
saying.
that's what happens. That's that's your right, like in your territory as a Cowboys fan. That when they lose, you're gonna get shit on by everyone in the country.
yeah.
I feel like
You're,
zero
you-
from
you're
holes.
used to this, bro.
I do
Like,
want to talk about
It's not easy being a king.
like the Dolphins have been all right this season.
Are you,
But
what are you doing here?
I want to talk about the rest of the AFC teams
Sweet.
because I'm curious what you think. Who is the best team in the AFC right now?
The Bengals. The Bengals.
Over the Chiefs?
I said it
still?
last week. The team to beat in the AFC should be the Bengals.
Yeah.
You get hot at the right time, and this happened last year. The Bengals got hot at the right time. Who did Joe Burrow throw to yesterday? Jamar Chase, and like you say, McDonald's fry cooks, Chick-fil-A
They
fry
got
cooks,
Trent
Walmart
Taylor,
employees.
that dude that looks like Joe Dirt with the long blonde hair.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
that's a touchdown.
go to any
Backup tight end, like he had no one to throw to.
Go to any fast food restaurant and pick out the line cook. That's who
How
Joe
many-
Burrow was throwing to
How
yesterday.
many touchdowns did he throw?
3, I think.
3?
2 or 3.
No, I think he had 2. I
That
think he
one,
had 2.
the touchdown to Jamar Chase was incredible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
everyone
that
always
was such
says,
a good
and the
throw.
Browns do have his number, do have the Bengals number
Yeah.
in general, and he comes
Well,
out and
the Dub-
wins.
And the thing is, when everyone talks about the Bengals, they're talking about that offense, right? It's so loaded, all this stuff.
The defense
The
underrated.
defense, dude. Logan Wilson is one of the most, if not the most underrated linebackers in all of football.
Trey Hendrickson?
Trey Hendrickson's a beast. Sam
He's been
Hubbard
good.
is a dog. Then they got
Von
that
Bell?
dude. Who's the dude in the middle, the defensive tackle, who's sick?
DJ Reader?
Yeah, DJ Reader is a beast. Like, they
Who
got
else?
some dudes. They have a little
They
bit of an
lost
issue at
yeah.
the corner, but like,
Yeah, they lost Cheeto. But I
Yeah.
just think, again, it's so tough because when I look at the AFC, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen are at the top of the charts in those top 3 of AFC quarterbacks. And
But does that mean that their teams are the
yeah,
top
but
three?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah?
I think they're still the top 3 teams.
In
but when
that
I-
order?
Yeah, but when I look, if I have
I
to
think
rank
so.
based off of teams, I think the Bengals are a better team than the Bills. The
Yeah.
Bengals, the
I
Bills
think so. I
offense
think-
doesn't scare me.
I don't think that's crazy at all to say right
It's
now.
not.
It's really only. I mean, Stephon Diggs obviously always a threat, but like
But that's
Josh
one.
Allen is really the biggest thing.
But
you
if
just
you-
have to contain him.
If you compare side by side Bills and Bengals, Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen, who are you taking?
Allen.
Okay.
I don't think I might take Burrow.
It's a someone's going to have a conversation around that. Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs.
Diggs.
Diggs, but not by much.
Still a conversation. Now
Yeah.
we move into it. T. Higgins and Gabe Davis.
Higgins.
Easy.
Tyler Boyd and Isaiah McKenzie.
Well, McKenzie
Obviously
can
Boyd.
dance a little bit.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, you see a little shitty.
Yeah, that's fire.
I take
McKenzie.
Boyd.
Okay.
All right, Boyd, fine.
Boyd,
Like-
Boyd.
Fine, dude.
Joe Mixon or Devin Singletary.
Joe Mixon.
Mixon.
I'll take P. Ryan over.
Singletary.
I might take
Shout
P.
out
Ryan.
5'7" King,
Offensive
bro.
line versus offensive line. Buffalo Bills offensive line is better, but the
I don't-
Bengals offensive
it's
line
not
has
by
been
much,
playing
yeah.
better,
But
I
here's,
think.
But here's what I'll say, because Josh Allen is more mobile than Joe Burrow. He has an advantage there.
Yeah.
That's why I'll take
Joe
Josh
Burrow
Allen.
doesn't like to run out because he doesn't like to get smacked around. Like
Yeah, but and now that the Bills lost Von Miller for the season,
yeah, no, I think that's a huge difference.
okay. So when
Prove your
you
point. The
So when
Bengals
you-
are really they're dangerous.
And
So when you look side by
and
side-
then
What do
in
you
the
think,
playoffs,
Felipe?
I
Who do you
agree.
think the best team in the AFC is?
Probably the Bengals.
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, no, okay. Let me put it this
Do you
way.
not think the Chiefs
Who
are
has-
even?
Who has the highest ceiling in the AFC? It's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because what we saw yesterday, the Chiefs, would they go up like 24-0 against the Broncos?
Dude, in like
that team,
a quarter and a half.
If they can stay consistent like that, I mean, they're by far the best team. They got by far the best quarterback.
But I'd argue that the Bengals have the same exact ceiling. They went to the Super Bowl
They
last year.
don't.
They went to the Super Bowl last
and
year.
the Chiefs went 2 years ago and they won.
But they still
And
went
they
last
have
year
the
and they
same
got
quarterback.
better. Why can't they have the
No,
same?
no.
Why can't they both have the same ceiling?
Look, that comes
Because I
down to
haven't
one
seen,
game though.
Because I haven't seen the Bengals perform
about
like the
ceiling.
Chiefs. I haven't, right, like the 24-0 thing, 24-0
The Bengals haven't
run,
killed anyone,
I haven't seen the
really.
Bengals do that.
But it's not about the entire season. Yes, the Chiefs have been a better team the entire year, but the Bengals are getting hot at the right time. It's exactly what happened last year.
Yeah, but
No,
that's not
that's
what
fine.
ceiling means.
But
Or
it's-
floor.
what do you mean? Ceiling is how- what is
highest
their-
potential.
Yeah,
Highest
they're-
potential.
And I think because of the I agree with Felipe in that I think because of the talent that Patrick Mahomes possesses and also just the weapons that they have and the way Patrick Mahomes elevates the weapons that they have, that
Exactly.
they have more potential than Joe
and
Burrow
coaching,
and the,
dude. Andy
the
Reid
Yeah,
is
and
Bengals
coaching.
do.
insane.
But the thing is that
Dude,
Mahomes,
they both have the potential to make the Super Bowl. That is
that's
both of their
fine, but
ceiling.
Mahomes, the Chiefs can rattle off 40 points straight, unanswered.
I think
the Bengals can't do that.
I think they can.
I think the Bengals can.
I
we
think that-
haven't seen it though. You saying we think they can? We've
I'll
seen
be
the
honest.
Chiefs do it.
I think the Chiefs can win the Super Bowl, and I don't think the Bengals can.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Bengals are good enough. They need to get it done in the playoffs. And yes, they did it last year. Fine.
made the Super Bowl.
Fine, but of course, they did it last year, but it's about potential. It's not about what they did.
Yeah.
It's about
Right.
potential
They might be-
now.
the Bengals
That's
might be
the
more
whole-
balanced.
That's
dude.
the whole point.
The Bengals
of-
might be more balanced. Like when you ask who's the better team, that's fine. The Bengals could be the better team, and that's why I'll give you that right now. Maybe the best team in the AFC. But the Chiefs' ceiling, what they can do, and the only thing that worries me about the Chiefs is that Mahomes is asked to do way more than Joe Burrow is, which is why the Bengals might have a better team right now. But Mahomes can do more than Joe Burrow can. So
I'm not disagreeing with that,
if you can make Jerick McKinnon look like a Pro Bowl
Yeah,
receiver and he's a running
He
back,
looks like Jamal Charles.
like it's insane. Like
I don't disagree with that. I just think to say that the Chiefs have a higher ceiling than the Bengals, I think they both have the ceiling of the Super Bowl. That's it.
All right.
The Bengals have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' number. That's for damn sure. So to say that they don't have the same ceiling is just.
All right, well look.
Do we have anything else? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I like this thing.
And just receivers in general this year have been absolutely
my
insane.
God, yeah.
Justin Jefferson put up a quiet 250 yards yesterday or something.
224 on 11 catches.
Yeah, which is
he
insane.
pulled it
So,
up, bro.
It's not even.
He should have had more.
do you
'cause
think that
one
wide
touchdown
receivers
got called
are
back.
the best position in football right now?
I think it's not even a question
I
that wide
agree. I
receivers are
think
the
it's
best
long
position in football right
snappers.
now.
I think by a mile.
It's like the talent pool for any wide receiver right now. Like we made our top 5 wide receivers last week, And some didn't have Jamar in there, some didn't have D-Hop in there. But then you look even from like 6 through 10, from Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Jamar would probably be there. Amon-Ra, who's been playing well. Like the wide receiver pool is loaded.
Bro, even
year.
the 10 to 15 guys are still
Your
like
Debo's,
6
your-
guys.
yeah.
Debo's, your Waddles,
T.
your
Higgins, these guys are all super talented. I'm just saying, guys like that.
There's some crazy dudes out there for sure.
I'm curious. Do we have any stats on the list of wide receivers? NFL wide receiver.
I mean,
stats.
it's
I
either
don't
that
know
or
what you're gonna
quarterbacks,
find.
right? It's either wide receivers or quarterbacks.
Do you think quarterbacks are deeper than wide receivers?
Nah,
No, I don't. I'm just thinking like
What
if
about
it's
like
not
edge?
receivers.
What about like edge rushers?
They can't really be deeper because there are more wide receivers on the field than there are.
But if we took top
Yeah.
32 versus top
Always.
30, like 32 versus 32, I think there's far more.
Well, because there's way more receivers.
Yeah.
So you'd have to take like
you need 2 receivers on
top
a
10.
team.
You'd have to do top 10
On a
versus
quarterback,
top
you
10.
only need 1 quarterback. So there's
Yeah.
there's already going to be just a larger pool to pull from.
Yeah.
So that you're definitely going to have that.
Yeah.
But I do think that the receivers are like by a mile the most.
Yeah, I think-
most
I think
dominant.
at the-
position
You said
in football
edge?
this year.
I think you can look at edge.
Can you?
When you have full health, Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett,
TJ
Khalil
Watt.
Mack, T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons, like all around, I think that there's a lot of those guys. And again, you're gonna have less than you are receivers. So
Oh well, doesn't each team have like 2 edges?
2 edgeable receivers can have 4 on the field at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's 2022.
Yeah.
Like they got 7 receivers on it.
It depends if you're talking like top end talent. If we're talking like top end, I might go edge. But like just overall, like
Yeah.
See, I don't
I also
even-
think
I
there's a
don't even-
huge
I don't
drop
even
off,
agree.
but I think there's a bigger drop off between like the top 3 quarterbacks to the next few quarterbacks. Whereas in wide receivers, like yes, there are obviously
can argue,
the
like,
Devontae
7 or
Adams
8
and
guys
Stephon
are the
Diggs of
best.
the world, and they're like of course above the other guys. But the next guys are like it's not as nearly as big of a drop
bro,
off
like, none of us had Cooper Kupp in our top 5.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he could be in there.
at any point. Yeah,
You can probably argue that there's 7 to 8 wide receivers that could be the best receiver in football.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, and you could say that, and people wouldn't look at you like you're a madman.
No,
Yeah.
they would, because that's what people
with
do.
Yeah,
quarterbacks,
that's true.
though, it's way harder to do, and running backs also like.
I was just thinking about
Running
this.
backs aren't.
Running backs are
it's-
so hit or miss because it's so much of the time dependent on the offensive line.
I feel like Felipe's going to have a good answer to this, and we've debated this. But what's a harder position to play in the NFL? Quarterback or cornerback?
corner.
Quarter.
Like
Well, it depends if we're talking like
QB
physically
is
or
by far the hardest position to play in sports, not just football. Now, physically, corner might be a little harder, but when you play QB, we got to say because quarter's so close.
I think
when you play
soccer goalie is
over
harder.
corner, then you have so much more mental shit to prepare for. Like you got to read a defense pre-snap and then post-snap. That's hard as fuck. You got edge rushers coming at you, D tackles coming at you while you're making these mid-play reads and progressions, and then you got to deliver it. Then you got to deliver the physical aspect of it. Where if you're a corner, the whole thing is physical, really. You know what you're doing. If you're dropping in cover 2, you know you're going to stay in the flat. If you're going 4, you know you're going to go quarters. Like you know what you're doing. Now to be able to perform is another thing, but a quarterback has to do everything.
Remember when I said Felipe's going to have a good answer to that?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I had no clue you're talking about there with corners. You're like dropping the 4s in the flat. I'm like, what?
I thought it was
does that
I thought
mean?
it was a stunning answer.
Well, look,
I just don't know all the X's and O's, so I was like, okay, he lost.
cover,
me, but-
cover 2, you're going to have 2 safeties deep. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know you don't have the deep responsibility. You can play in the corner.
No, I agree.
Or
I
you
just
can play in the
wanted
flat.
to get a good answer out there for TikTok. I thought it was a good debate.
There you go. Well,
Right,
corner
right.
is really hard.
hitting a fastball is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Hitting a baseball.
But
in
that
general.
doesn't mean it's the hardest position.
No, agreed.
It's
yeah.
not.
I
It's
think
not the
hitting a
hardest position.
fastball is the hardest thing to
But
do in sports.
not
whereas
even a
maybe
fastball,
a
just-
quarterback might be the hardest position.
Do we have any
Hitting
cappers?
a baseball
That's what I
is
was looking
hard.
at.
Let's
I
look for
agree.
some
You got
cappers.
curveballs,
Bro,
fastball,
but
slider, change.
Have you seen the sports sciences on that?
It's literally
Where
it should be physically
impossible to hit a fastball.
Yeah.
Anything above 95 miles an hour should be
Yeah, 'cause the
impossible
timing
to
and-
hit.
the timing and how
guys will
quick,
hit
yeah.
100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, I saw a
is
video today
insane.
of Ken Griffey Jr. hitting a 104-mile-an-hour fastball out of the
Who
park.
was? It was his exit velocity off
No,
his
no.
bat?
Someone
Who was
threw
pitching 104?
Some dude on the Tigers. I forget who it was.
Oh my God!
Yeah, crazy.
When Griffey Jr. was playing,
Dude, he turned on an
I didn't know
inside
anybody had that
pitch.
back then.
Yeah, bro. No,
Holy
there's some boys back then.
That's
Remember
crazy.
Jabba Chamberlain?
No.
Yeah, he threw some gas. Big old fat guy in the Yankees.
While we're on baseball, I'm devastated about the Giants, so I'm just looking forward to the Mets season at this
There you
point.
go. It's baseball season,
Good
baby.
off season. I know nobody
it's
here
not basketball
cares.
season either for the Knicks. So.
Agreed. No, the Knicks. I've not been watching basketball.
How about the Warriors putting a little beat down on the Celtics too?
Oh,
That was big,
did
the other
they?
day.
I saw
Yeah,
that
the other day.
on Saturday
You know what I know?
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Celtics are the best team in basketball, and Luka's the best player in basketball.
No, I think Jason Tatum might be MVP, bro.
I just had this conversation.
No, Tatum right now is MVP because his team is winning more for sure.
His team's winning more, and he's a better all-around player than Luka's the
he's
best
not.
offensive player.
Luka's
the best offensive
been
player.
a great defender this year.
Has
Actually.
he?
Better defensive rating than Tatum. I had
Really?
a conversation with my Celtics fan. Yeah.
Wow.
My Celtics fan. He actually Luka's 13th in defensive rating this year. But the point is not. Yeah, Tatum's MVP because his team's winning. You can't take that away
All
from
right,
him.
what do we got?
But
for
let
cappers?
me. Luka
I
didn't play on
found a
Saturday
cool
night. I'm gonna bring the cappers up. Luka didn't play on Saturday night. Mavs lost by 40. It happens every time.
Yeah, bro. What's his DVOA?
His
What's his
DVOA.
plus minus?
They
honestly,
actually
on
his
the
plus
season?
minus is probably I don't know. I
Probably
gotta
like
look
plus
at it.
40.
But the NBA like advanced analytics have some stat which is like essentially that
PER, yeah.
type shit, and Luka has the highest in the
What
game.
about
so.
the DVOA?
What's Luka's DVOA?
All right,
I
so
got a good one.
hot take. Someone said Baker is daddy. Now we're actually not going to do that one.
I got a good one.
Oh yeah, he is.
Oh, you found one now?
I found a good one. I can't
Is it the Lions one?
debate it one off the top of my head, but CD's Nuts. Shout out to CD's Nuts. That's a great name. I'm assuming he's a Cowboys fan.
That was my fantasy team name last year.
It's a good one. It's original. I'm assuming he's a Cowboys fan.
now,
I
what
don't
are
know.
you? TT's Higgins?
Well, there's big TTs. We have the
And your T.
African
Higgins?
Americans.
Nice.
There's one more I forget. But
Well, CD's Nuts submitted in our Discord saying the 2020 wide receiver class is the best wide receiver class this year.
Yeah.
2020.
Jettis, CD,
2020.
He's the
Jamar
best
Chase-
wide receiver class this
Is
year.
Jamar Chase in that same
Jamar's
class?
21 with Waddle.
I don't know the classes off the top of my head,
It's
to be honest.
CD, Jettas,
2019,
Henry Ruggs.
I would say 2019 has a pretty
Henry
strong
Ruggs.
case.
Ruggs balling.
2019 has a strong case. AJ, Debo, DK, Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin.
That's pretty damn good.
No, I think the next year's better.
Who else is in the 2020 class? We only listed Jettas and CD.
Henry Ruggs,
But okay.
But yeah, who
Jerry
else?
Judy, Jerry Judy.
He's been ass.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not his fault. But yeah.
Ayuk,
I'm just naming guys. All right,
Ayuk,
no one's
been
T.
naming.
dog.
Higgins, Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Boys there, yeah.
Yeah.
What about 2022? The Jamar one was Jamar
2021.
Waddle.
21.
Jamar, Waddle,
Devontae.
Devontae.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith, yeah.
That's really
Eh,
it.
it's not that much.
What about like 18?
The thing is that class from 20, what is it, the 2020? That class from 2020 coming into the NFL, like that season, we were looking at it as maybe the best receiver class
Yeah.
ever. It just hasn't panned out on like a depth level, but top two, like Jefferson and CD look great.
I don't know. I feel
Also,
like
CD at Oklahoma. was
neither.
so
I mean, like
fucking
yes,
nasty.
the
good.
top end, the two guys we listed in both of those classes, like are obviously amazing. But
Pittman.
deeper than that, it's not like holy shit. Yeah, like Pittman's like great. He's good for
And
fantasy.
you got like Debo, who's like
Debo's
pretty damn good, but not
Debo
like,
is pretty damn good, but he's had such a drop off this year. I don't know. It doesn't.
He's been playing
I'm not
hurt.
convinced yet. We have another one.
So that was CD's nuts.
Yeah.
CD's
Shout out
nuts.
CD's nuts.
Congrats, CD's nuts.
Good shit. Okay. Oh, Brandon Ayuk in that class.
Yeah, no.
Last one.
Yeah, last one. Let's see. I have it here. Mike Coxlong.
Huh.
Oh my God.
Lions make a playoff push and get the 7th seed.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
I think it could happen too.
I think the Seahawks are
What-
fraudulent. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I think the Lions jump them and make it.
I'm all
What's
for
the
it.
picture looking like right now?
Motor City Dan.
I'll look it up.
I'm curious.
The Lions have to play the Jets, the Panthers, the Bears, and the Packers.
They
That
could
could be
be
4
all
wins.
of those teams.
Yep.
They could win all those.
All right, let's see.
I'd
So
want to
the
see
NFL,
it. I'd like
think the-
Detroit.
The
They're playing
NFC
well,
playoff
too.
picture. So the
Detroit
7th seed,
deserves it.
the Giants are 7-5-1. Then the Seahawks are 7-6. Lions are 6-7. So you could very well. I mean, one more win.
The Giants are going to lose.
Seahawks
That.
lose. Giants lose. Like you're right there.
The Giants have to play the Commanders this week, and then they play the Eagles again at some point. Like they're going to lose both of
Yeah,
those.
you guys aren't make the playoffs.
Right now,
No.
the whole NFC East is in the playoffs. Isn't that crazy?
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Has that ever happened? How many times?
Nah, I don't think that's ever happened.
that a whole division has made
I've
the
seen
playoffs.
3 teams make it, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
insane already.
Yeah.
Like the NFC West.
I think
but
because they just expanded the playoffs
just-
last year, so you
it's only
could do
possible
it.
now.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that would be wild.
it would.
They're not going to. I mean, the Giants and the Commanders play this week, so
So you think the Lions have a good
Hey, what
they
chance?
if
could tie again.
I would say the best
Tie,
thing for
that'd be
both of them
insane.
would be to tie
I
again.
know.
Like,
You're right.
Like you guys need to tie.
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
the
And
Giants
look,
are
if the
winning.
Lions make the playoffs, they're a dangerous team to face.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can put up 35 against any team.
Yeah, they can hang a 40 piece on you any day.
And they know that nobody's gonna be picking them. Like they're slept on still, and they should be.
That's that mentality they want though.
They're
Like,
the Lions.
I mean, watch a Hard Knocks. You know, Dan Campbell loves that.
They're
mentality,
just like nasty, bro. They're nasty and physical.
Lamar
Now
Jackson
with
to the-
Jamison Williams, bro, that
Lamar
might be.
Jackson to the Lions?
Nah, they said yesterday Jared Goff's
Their
their quarterback
problem
moving
is
forward.
not their quarterback. The problem
No.
is their
The
defense.
defense is terrible.
And also
Yeah,
they're
but it
just
would be
like
sick.
overall
Is
culture
the
of being
Lions-
Detroit.
But it would be
Is
sick.
the Lions trio of receivers like
No.
top 2 or 3?
No.
Who is
Why
who
not?
are they?
One game of Jamison Williams. One
It's
play.
like top.
Jamison
like
Williams is a
Williams.
dog.
It's top
already.
10.
Yes, but
Amon
we've
DJ
Ra.
seen
Shark is
one
very
play.
good. Amon Ra is a top 10.
Amon Ra.
We've seen one
DJ Shark's
play. The
touchdown
Sun
was sick.
God.
Amon Ra?
Amon Ra, the Sun God. He's great.
He's great.
But DJ Shark, not even top 25 wide receiver.
He's good though.
He's good. Jamison Williams
All right,
was
good hot
great
takes.
at Bama.
Yo, since we shouted out Pick a Side earlier, Joel tweeted today, "Good morning to everyone except Tua fanboys. Y'all deserve this L." What's your response?
You're a Zach Wilson fanboy. You deserve every L too. We deserve the L.
We should end it on that.
Touche. All right. Well, we'll see y'all on Wednesday.
I love you, Joel.
See ya. Peace.
Bye.
Disagree with our takes? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, go to thegameday.com for sports betting offers, and go to thegameday.shop to get your Caps Off merch.